Speak up.
Hey, I'm Beater Rider PA,
I'm Road Glide Andy.
and this is Coffee with HDR,
Well-
Convoy America.
Yeah, the Great American Convoy. Coffee with HDR, the Great American Convoy style.
Great American Convoy with HDR.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with HDR. Guys, this is show number 149 for Saturday, November the 25th, 2023. Good morning. I got the coffee in hand in the good old, the good old USA Harley Davidson coffee mug. Hey, let's start out first of all by changing up a little bit and saying I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I know we did, and we definitely ate too much, that's for sure. My goodness, that's the way it goes, right? You stuff the turkey, then you stuff yourself. That's what you got to do on Thanksgiving morning, or Thanksgiving dinner, I guess, not morning. All right, now let's go down here and say the good mornings to everybody. We got a nice crowd in the house there today for another cold Saturday here in southwestern Pennsylvania. It's about 23 degrees at the present moment. It's going to be getting up to 47 degrees today. And many of you would say that is riding weather. I would. But you know what? I'm really lazy and I got to put air in my tires. So I got to do that sometime today. Good morning to Smyrna Cowboy, Toby Northern, Chuck Hunson, WS Keys on 3. Oh, Chuck is in South Dakota. I need to point that out. Dean C. Pete, Moto's Adventures. Good morning, Pete. Payne's Rides. Everybody tell Payne's Rides to get well soon because he has been under the weather. I talked to him a little bit yesterday. The Real Jackie Boy's in the house. Good morning to the Real Jackie Boy there. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. Ty from Tennessee. Can't forget Ty from Tennessee. Mike Bodine. Let's see who else is in here. Debbie is in here. Mallory, my sister. Thanks to my sister yesterday for a wonderful, great Black Friday shopping experience. And we'll talk about that a little bit today because it's all things motorcycle weekend and some things not. Good morning to Paul. Good morning to the Badgers. Nice to have you in there this morning with us and on board. Good morning to you. Good morning to Toby Northern. I got you already. Chuck Henson, good morning to you. And I think we're all caught up already. That was pretty quick. Guys, if you're watching the stream, get in the chat room and say hello and chat with us here this morning on Coffee with HDR. It has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week because I only worked 2 days. Two days. I worked Monday and I had to work Tuesday. And I've been off ever since. It is our Thanksgiving early winter break before the Christmas break, which will be another few days off there for sure. But yeah, so anyway, let's talk a little bit about watching HDR before my first cup of coffee. Ty, you have to have, wait, Ty, hold on. Ty, hold on, Ty. You have to have coffee with HDR. So get that coffee in your hand and take a sip. Oh, man. That's delicious this morning. I was going to buy some coffee yesterday. I was with my sister. I told you Black Friday shopping. And yeah, we were looking at coffee. Kind of weird, huh, when you're Black Friday shopping. But anyway, it was called like Death Espresso or something. Or Death Wish or Triple X Death. I got to buy it and try it. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be super dark and super hefty and super black. I love black coffee. Anyway. Yeah, good morning to Mini Moto. And Pete Moto's Adventures, 55 in Florida. Pete, welcome to winter. You might want to get some gas treatment for your motorcycles there and treat those babies up because you don't want them bikes freezing. And seems like you're going to be getting a touch of the cold spell. It's called climate change, right? I don't believe in global warming. I believe in climate change. And, it's when you get, a couple feet of snow in Texas. In Maine, you get no snow. It's just a whole shift of the climate, right? Mike said 27 in Missouri. Yes, Death Wish Coffee. Toby Northern knows what it is. So yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a box of that. I looked at it yesterday. It was like, I don't know, 12 cups for $15. I was like, oh Lord, that's a lot of money. Pain Choice said, even though I was dog sick on Black Friday, I managed to work out the finances for an ADV. Every day, I'm a bit closer to adding a bike. There you go. I can't wait to see what you buy. And it's always interesting to get a new motorcycle. It's even more interesting to pay off the motorcycles, guys. So if you're continuously buying, stop, get them paid off, and then beef them babies up, right? So temperature check. Where you're, Smyrna, Tennessee is 33 degrees. It's 27 in Maryland. 27 degrees in Maryland. Toby Norton said, we're never too sick to figure out how to add another bike to the garage. You guys are right. So how many of you guys actually was out there yesterday Black Friday shopping? I really think it's a joke anymore. And it was really impressive to us. Now, we've been doing this every year to pay off the Jeep before I even think about another bike. Pete Motors Adventure said, yep, got to get the Jeep paid off. Welcome to the last Coffee with HDR in November. You're right. This is the last Coffee with HDR in November. I just didn't even think of that. That's pretty good, Toby. But yeah, so Black Friday shopping yesterday really blew us for a loop because we've been doing this for years and years and years, since the kids were little, since we had a reason to go Black Friday shopping. And yesterday we really had no reason. We just wanted to do it. It was more of a want than a need, right? So anyway, so we went out first of all to Walmart in the morning. The Badgers said they went to an RC swap meet for Black Friday. Mama went and said it was dead out. Dead out. It was really dead. It was really weird. So we went to Walmart first of all because I was looking. They had apparently, Be the Rider PA, good morning. Answer me this, Jack. What is chaos at Walmart and Best Buy? Was it chaos? It was not chaos. That's what I'm telling you. It was just the parking lots were empty. I mean, you would think it would be a Wednesday at 9 o'clock a.m. at the Walmart. It was just empty, and it was eerie that people just are not shopping, or they're not supporting the brick and mortar retailers. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say here. Minimoto said no real reason anymore. Kids are older. Yeah, so here's what happens. Since they start Black Friday shopping in August, what's the point, Pete? Yeah, you're right. Is there any day to have to stay home sick? It's Black Friday, Payne's Rod says. Good morning to that. So anyway, we went to Walmart because they had, I seen a special, right? I think it was a 48 or a 50-inch TV for $98. Now, most people, and I would tell you, don't buy that for your permanent entertainment system. But many of you know that I teach a lot of different concepts on YouTube, and I have many, many YouTube channels, tend to be, in fact, 10 YouTube channels. And I'm bringing upon different topics on those YouTube channels. One of those is Photoshop Elements TV, which basically is all generated on the computer level. But I have another channel I started called Jack's Tech Hut. So Jack's Tech Hut is actually a computer learning, computer-based trainings, right? Probably in the end, they're probably going to be geared more to high-level thinkers and high-level networking and high-level cybersecurity. But I wanted that TV on the wall, not for entertainment purposes, but I wanted it to use it for like presentations. I wanted to use for so I can explain things in more detail, kind of like video me standing by it and talking about the subject. So I thought, man, $98, that would be great, right? Spend $98 on something like that. No big deal. Good morning, Rocky J. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. 16 degrees in central upstate. Yeah, it's getting cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. Me and my brother were talking about this yesterday afternoon. Black Friday has lost a purpose and appeal. You see the same specials months before Black Friday and not any real discounts. And that is true. But here's what I'm getting at. Good morning to Henry. Eureka. Nice to have you on board here with us this morning. You're right. Black Friday has lost its appeal because Black Friday shopping starts in like August and September. You're right. It's so early nowadays. Everybody's pushing the holiday, right? But I think even more, Smarty Cowboy said an overhead projector. I can talk about that. The reason, and they had projectors on sale too, Smarty, for $59 for a 1080p projector, which would be fine for what I need it for. But you can't not stand in front of a projector because you cut between the light and the screen. You know what I'm saying? You cut between those two, and then your shadow is on the screen, and it just doesn't look very pleasing when you're teaching. I know that for a fact because I do teach. Now, in my classroom, it's hanging on the ceiling, and it's shooting down, so it's very hard for me. I would have to be 9 feet tall to be in front of this thing. But in my house, it just wouldn't work out right. So I agree what you're saying, but yeah, and I thought about it, but I decided no. So anyway, we went out there. Apparently, cooking some breakfast behind this morning. Power was out until 10 minutes ago. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Be the Rider PA, but I'm sure your big old generator kicked in and your house was just nice and toasty warm. So with that said, we went out. They opened at 6. Now we didn't leave our house till we didn't pick up my sister Debbie until like 6:30. We probably got there about 7, about an hour after opening. Everything was gone. Here's what they do on Black Friday. I got this figured out now. It took me, I don't know, almost 60 years to figure it out. When they have a special deal, it comes up and they said, hey, there's a special deal out. You know, we have these TVs. They're 48, 50-inch for $98. Woohoo, I'm going to buy one. Yeah, they get like 5 or 6 of those per store. So the first few people through the door gets to snag those up. And they didn't have any more. So we were also looking for a few other things. The next thing I was looking for was a sound bar. And the sound bar, I don't need anything brilliantly fancy. I wanted it because I wanted to see if I could put my turntable through a sound bar and use it as the amplifier for the turntable. It was selling for $30. I was like, can't go wrong for $30, right? And they didn't have a good morning, Larry Mullen. It's nice to have you on board there this morning. They didn't have any sound bars. I was like, well, wait a minute. This store don't have crap. So we went, we bought the necessary stuff. Good morning to Win Road Therapy. We bought the regular stuff anyway. We purchased, cucumbers, which are needed, green peppers, which also are needed, some staple items for the household. And I hope you also had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you very much, Win Road Therapy. So anyway, we bought staple items. We both were talking. Yeah, bait and switch. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. The three of us were talking. Why don't they have Black Friday deals? And if you're in retail, you're out there and you work in retail. How about this? How about ground beef at 50% off? How about steaks at 50% off? How about like breads, 25% off breads? Things you need to eat, right? Not things you need to buy that you're going to throw away in 2 years. We just wanted to see staple toilet paper, 35% off, right? Things that you have to have. So, folks, I have to wonder if, why the stores weren't as busy. And we went from there. We went over, we had breakfast. Now, we eat breakfast every year on Black Friday at IHOP, the pancake place. IHOP. I don't know if you have an IHOP by you or not. IHOP's pancakes used to cover the whole entire plate, big plates, right? Now they're about the size of a quarter, okay? And the prices are going up. So people aren't going out to eat because they're realizing finally that portions are going down and prices are going up. And they tell you, well, the food prices have risen. Well, you've been gouging people for decades. Why don't you just leave it the way it is? The hash browns were cut down to like half a portion. The eggs, I believe it was 2 eggs. There might have been 1 scrambled egg on the plate. I'm not really sure about that. And what else did I have? Oh, and I had chicken fried steak or whatever the hell that thing was. That dried up piece of cardboard that they served out there. So it wasn't really good. There was no spices on it. The gravy was nothing compared to my country gravy that I make. So, but the thing about IHOP, usually when you went in there, at the time we went in there, you'd have to wait for an hour. Folks, we walked in, every table was pretty much empty. I bet you there was maybe 9, 10 other people in the whole entire place. So does that show you that people just aren't going out to eat? Does it show you that are people not spending money, or are people doing everything online? What's your take on that? You know, I don't know. I don't know what to be said for it there, but um, we do. I think we still have a Waffle House here, Ty. I'm not sure. And I've never eaten in a Waffle House. I've never tried a Waffle House at all. I'd love to do that. Maybe maybe I'm off Monday. Maybe I'll go up Monday morning and try some waffles or something to see what that place is about. Pete's Motor Venture said IHOP is garbage. It has definitely changed. It definitely has lost its uh, it's lost its luster for me, because it used to be pretty sensational at one time. So anyway, we like to support the local restaurants, mom and pop restaurants. They seem to want to feed you well. They seem to care that you're there. They want to give you a very good meal. But Itchy Boots will tell you, when she was in the United States, she said, uh, Payne's Rest said, "You're off your diet, HDR. I've never been on a diet. I don't know what you're talking about. I just believe in trying to get big enough where you can't see your feet in the shower." But um, yeah, Larry Mullen said online all day. So we have some great local spots here for me for breakfast, Pete. And we do also, we have a great place right down the road called Walden's, if you're ever in the Burgestown region. Matter of fact, when I was doing photography videos all the time, I had a gentleman, wanted to shoot photos with me. And that was pretty amazing, right? He drove here from wherever. It was a 2-day ride to get to PA where I live. He came here, and I met him at a local restaurant, and I bought him breakfast. Was the first thing we did, and he was blown away. Now I don't know if it's changed now. I mean, all these years later, but and then we went out. We shot photography all day at a lake, and he wanted to learn some more from me about landscaping photography, how to manage his camera, how to do all that cool stuff. So that was pretty awesome, just for him to want to come here and visit. So we spent the whole entire day together. Matter of fact, I believe we even went back there for lunch, the same spot, because he goes, "Man, can we go back to that same restaurant?" So I ended up buying him breakfast. He ended up buying me lunch, which was awesome, and just hanging out with the guys. So I think that's what YouTube does. YouTube brings everybody together. I don't care what genre you're working on, you're going to meet people around that genre, right? Toby Northern says, brick and mortar businesses have lost the art of what content creators are encouraged to do: better personal engagement. And yes. So anyway, so that was the morning. We went to the mall after Best Buy, because we went to eat breakfast. We went to Best Buy. Best Buy had what I was looking for, but they had nothing out of the box that I can touch. I don't buy things I can't check out first. I don't want it in if it's all boxed up. And every package was boxed. There was none sitting out that I could check out, so I didn't buy anything at Best Buy. Then we went to the mall. Now, yes, we still have a local mall here that still is pretty thriving businesses in there. I don't know how they stay in business, but we went to the mall and we hung out at the mall for a while, and the parking lot was empty. Again, very eerie. Just last year, I think it was last year, we were out, or maybe 2 years, whatever, but you had to drive around for a half hour looking for a place, hoping somebody would leave. Guys, we pulled up 5 spaces from the front doors. It was just eerie. We went in the mall, and there's like nobody really around. It was just kind of empty. Now this is about, man, I'm talking 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Still nobody out there. Windroad Therapy said, "I worked retail for 13 years, which is why I've always avoided shopping in actual stores during Thanksgiving weekend." We do it mainly. I'm a people person. I'm a people watcher. I love watching people, and I love watching people think they're getting good deals, and they only find out a year later that whatever they bought broke. The biggest thing I like seeing is people running in and they're buying these laptops for $89 for their kids, and then they last about 3 weeks, and like all the keys fall off of them, the screen falls out, and there's no way to fix them, right? Never, ever, ever, never, ever buy your computer systems. This is from your good old friend HDR. Been in computer business for 30 years. And Ty will tell you the same. Never buy your computer from the same place you buy your motor oil and your toilet paper. Take it from me. They have no service center there. You can't go back and go, oh, this broke. They'll be like, oh, tough crap. You spent $89 for it, so you lost 89 bucks. Whoop, big deal. Yeah, don't do that. So it was really eerie at the mall. Yeah, people watching is so much fun. Windrow Therapy said, I was actually working at selling Cabbage Patch dolls during that crazy time in the mid 80s. We just watched something on that the other day, and I thought they said that was in the 70s. Cabbage Patch dolls. Was it in the 80s? Interesting. You're not a Scrooge, HDR. Larry said, Scrooge? No, man. We spend all kind of money for Christmas. Way too much money for Christmas. In 10 years, malls will be a thing of the past, Henry said. It's funny because we used to have a local town here. My sister will tell you about it. And Henry probably lived in Washington long enough to know. It was called Bassett Town. And Bassett Town was the middle of Washington. All the stores were located, you have to go outside to go store to store. You parked on the street. You put your money in a meter. Well, I don't know if they were metered back then or not. Maybe. I can't remember that. But you'd go to Murphy's 5 and Dime, and you would eat at the lunch counter, and you would just go to the shoe store, and you'd go to the clothing stores, and whatever else you had to buy. The hardware was always a fun trip, right, for guys. And then the malls came along, and then all of a sudden, all those stores that were outside closed down, gone, right? Then they created, I don't know, oh yeah, Beanie Babies. Guys, I used to buy and sell Beanie Babies. I used to make a small fortune on finding rare Beanie Babies and putting them on eBay and jacking the crap out of them things. People were going ballistic over those. A bag with a bean in it. Beanie Baby. I probably still have some around here somewhere. I lost pretty much all the collection in a flood at one time. And that's a long story, but yeah, they were lost in a flood. Nobody wanted them after they'd been in floodwaters. Depending on where you live, the malls already are a thing of the past, Toby said. We have a lot of malls here that are shut down and gone. With the climate change, I bet your malls will come back. That way people can stay indoors, going from store to store. Be the right place said, Bassettown. I used to eat lunch counter and fish there, road there on my, there on my bike. Yeah, the lunch counter there was great. Paul said, why go to IHOP and not the mom and pop? Because the IHOP has been a tradition of ours for the past 15 years. You go Black Friday shopping, we hit the first store. We always like to hit Target. It used to be open at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And then we go to Walmart, and then we go to IHOP, right? Because they're all right in that same little vicinity. So the mom and pop shop here for breakfast is in our small town. So we would have to came pretty much home to eat to go back out. So anyway, once we were down there at the mall, we went over, and Miss H was trying to return something she bought for one of the babies. And the lady was giving her a bunch of shit. And, I can't stand people at the counter. Here's the way it went down. I'm going to tell you this story. It's a sad story, but it's true. Beanie Baby and Cabbage Patch Kids are hoarder's heaven. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people still have those. Chuck said, we live 80 miles from the nearest big box stores and malls. 125 to Indian Harley dealers. So we have a need something pretty bad to drive so far to save a few bucks. Windrow Therapy. We don't have malls here in my area. We have several different shopping plazas and various stores. They have actually knocked down some of the malls around the country. They are trying to knock down a mall here called Century 3 Mall. There are these, what the hell do they call these kids now these days? Called, the hell you call these kids? Influencers, right? So these influencers go out and they like to go out and break into old malls and do walkthroughs and investigate what's there and check it out. Two of the influencers here are both now doing 10 years in a state prison because they broke and entered into the mall and they racked enough charges on them where they both got 10 years in prison. So influence that, buddy. Guys, if something's condemned and the malls are shut down and the doors are locked, don't break in. That's just stupid, right? We lived in Delaware. We have a mall that does well, tax-free shopping. That's always nice. They have tour buses coming from New York. Just go into an Apple store. It's crazy. Yeah, people love the Apple stores. That's for sure. Anyhow, so let's talk to you a little bit about the influence that. Haha, Ty said, yeah. Influence that. Take your GoPro and go to prison for 10 years. Huh? Influence that, buddy. How about that? Now what are you influencing? A guy named Bruno. That's what you're influencing. Hey, Bruno, get over here, Grilly. All right, anyhow, let's go back. So we went to return an outfit that Miss HDR bought for one of the babies, one of our grandbabies, and it was too small. And she did one of the things that you never do in your lifetime, folks. I'm going to warn you about this right now. This is the honest truth. Don't ever do this. Don't ever pay with anything with cash. Nothing that you're going to, no product. So if I bought this soundbar yesterday, here's the remote for the soundbar, and I bought that with cash. And if you lose the receipt, first of all, here's what they do. This is total bullshit. So you go in there and you say, look, I bought this, and the tag's hanging on it, and the tag said you paid $29.95. She's like, and she even told me this. I was going like smack it, smack her upside the head. Well, we have to give you the absolute minimum prices for that. Whatever it sells for today, and I think it sells for $5. I'm like, she paid $18. Well, we'll give you $5. Lady, I'll take it to the city mission and give it away first before you can give me $5 for an $18 outfit. It's like, are you kidding me? Well, if you don't have the card and you don't have the receipt, because she lost the receipt, and Miss HR is guys, we have folders in file cabinets downstairs with receipts in them from 10 years ago, stuff that she bought. She just misplaced a receipt, right? And the lady wanted to have a smackdown. I was going to grab her over the counter and just wrestle her right there on the floor. It's like, why is customer service people, guys, this is not only Harley shops, right? Why is customer service people, they put the bitchiest, moodiest people in the customer service area. Put the nice, happy people in there. The people that love life. This lady, I swear to goodness, that you would think she'd want to go outside and hang herself from a tree because she's miserable. If you hate your life, don't work customer service. She was nasty. Nasty. So she said, well, if you got the card you bought, and at that time I didn't know she paid cash. So I went and found Miss HDR. I said, here, go over to the service counter, show them which card you used, slide in the machine, show them that you paid the whatever X amount of dollars, and they will give it back to you on your card. Apparently, the 2 cards that she had in her wallet, she didn't use those 2 cards. She used a different card. And, that was a problem, right? And lady told her the same thing. Then she told her, I can't give you anything back from that. You might have stole that. Stole it? It's like, lady, I'll smack you upside your head. Stole it? Do we look like American thieves to you? I used to work retail security. I despise shoplifters, lady. And you're calling, we stole an $18 baby outfit? So here's the next thing that happened. HDR's best time. Sorry about that, Larry, but I just wanted to get this out there because I'm warning you, don't pay for cash for anything you may return. So with that said, Mrs. HDR said, why use my rewards card? Well, we can't look out rewards card stuff. Why the hell do you have a rewards program? Give me a break. These rewards programs are no more for them to track what you're buying, to push ads to you later on what you're buying. But when it's in favor for you, we can't look that up. Really? Is that right? So Mrs. HDR will be pushed, but she will never be shoved down. So she came home, she got her laptop out, she got on JCPenney's rewards, and guess what she found? She found the day of the purchase. And today, we are going back, and I'm GoProing this baby. I'm going to put this on a YouTube channel. It's going to be called Smackdown with Service People. Because, if you're in service and you're directly relating to customers, please don't put your worst people there that are moody, right? Put your sweetest, loving people there that will help somebody. She said even if she would just got a gift card to spend back at their store, that would have been just fine. And that's what most places will do for you. So anyway, there's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ty from Tennessee said, bad customer service is a deal breaker every time for me. I told her, I said, look, I said, don't ever go back to J.C. Penney. Screw them. They can close their doors tomorrow. And I don't give a crap. Stores you're killing people for customers. You're dying because you're like, everybody shops at Amazon. Why don't nobody come to the store? Because you suck. That's why. That's why people don't come there. And not every store. Some places are very, very sweet and very nice and very helpful. But not this moody person. Let's do our mid-roll. Yes, speak up.
Hey, I'm Beta Rider PA,
I'm Road Glide Andy.
and this is Coffee with HDR,
Well-
Convoy America.
Yeah, the Great American Convoy. Coffee with HDR, the Great American Convoy style.
Great American Convoy with HDR.
So, Be the Rider PA actually got a hold of me yesterday. He works for Harley Davidson now. And he told me that get this is a pretty good Black Friday deal. The first 200 customers through the door, they gave a big shopping bag to. Do I have it here? I don't know if I have it here or not. Maybe I do have it here. Yeah, let me see. So you walk in and they give you this big shopping bag, okay? Here it is, right here, okay? This huge shopping bag. Yeah, huge. And he said, anything you can fit in there, you can have it for 20% off. So I went out. I was able to fit 2 Garmin bells in it. That's about all it fit. I asked him if he had a bag large enough that I could actually put a motorcycle in it and get 20% off. And he said, no, we don't have those. So anyway, good morning, Jim Reynolds. Glad to have you on board here with us this morning. That is not... You sure that's not the bag, Be the Rider PA? I'm telling you, this is the size bag right here it was, guys. Anything you can fit in there, you get 20% off. I got 2 Garmin bells. That's what I put in here. They're pretty nice Garmin bells. No, I don't know what size it was, to be honest with you. I don't know, but it was a pretty good deal, right? 20% off anything you fit in a bag. So, and I don't know really what size bag it was, but you love the mid-roll. Thanks, Windroad Therapy. I'm glad you enjoyed that little mid-roll there. HDR in 2024. So anyway, that was a pretty good deal they're having. So on with the final of my Black Friday shopping extravaganza. So Mrs. HDR was, we left the store, we got out, and we got away from that situation. So no, HDR story time is still going on. I'm sorry, I'll quit talking, wait. Dramatic pause, huh? You're like, oh no, wait. What's a Coffee with HDR show with HDR not talking? Silence. Silence is a virtue, right? I should shut up. Anyway, on the Wing and a Hog, good morning to you. Glad to have you on board here with us this morning. So here's the kicker. We left the store. We went to get a cup of coffee. We looked down in the mall at the Starbucks, and there was 3,472 trillion people down there. I don't even know where they came from. They must have walked because there's no cars in the parking lot. All these people walked from somewhere. We're like, yep, we're not getting a coffee. So we left them all. Miss HDR had to be over. They were taking one of our granddaughters. We have 3 daughters and a son. 2 of our daughters were going with Mrs. HDR to take the oldest granddaughter, oldest granddaughter to the movies to see a movie called Trolls, right? She loves Trolls. So I had to take her to the movie theater and drop her off. So that left myself and my sister Debbie, or you see her in the channel here as Mallory. Okay, Mallory's actually her dog's name, right? Debbie is very private and she wants to be incognito. Anyhow, good morning, Jim. Nice to have you on board there. HDR can upgrade to a 131 at Jim's expense. Hey, Jim, if you could fit, be the right period. If you could fit that 131 into that bag and I can get it for 20% off, now we're talking. So, anyhow, we leave Mrs. HDR, and my sister Debbie says, "Hey, what are we going to do now?" I said, "Well, I'm going to go home and take a nap because I am beat because we've been out since like 5 o'clock in the morning on the road already." So, what do we do? She said, I said, "Well, I have to run to Weirton, West Virginia, which is about 25 miles from where we were shopping, I guess." So I have to run down to Weirton because that's where I go for gas. Because, guys, I don't know what you're paying for gas right now, but yesterday for regular unleaded, I paid $3.09. And I was pretty happy about that. It's funny because I was pissed off when it hit $1.99. Now I'm happy when it's $3.09. Anyway, back to my story. So as we were going to Weirton, she goes, "Well, why don't we go to Walmart? Maybe they have some of those things you were looking for." I was like, "Yeah, can't hurt." So I did buy, and I showed you remote already. I did buy my $30 sound bar. I thought this thing's going to be tinny. It's going to be garbage. It's not going to work well. I was pretty impressed. I hooked it up. I Bluetoothed it to my phone, and I played some pretty good bluegrass music. I don't know if you're into bluegrass, but I am really into bluegrass music lately. And I played some Kiss on it. And the highs and the lows and the mid ranges are really good for a $30 sound bar. I mean, but I really just wanted it to plug into my turntable. Hopefully, I'll get all that equipment out today and find my albums. Guys, I don't know about you, but I love vinyl. If I can listen to vinyl all day, I would because it's just so much more pleasing to the ear. I don't know what it is. Something about whatever. Regular gas, when we were there, we said it's down to 285. Okay, here's the story. Be the right said the Amazon Insta360 Ace Pro is on its way. Yes, Be the Rider PA spent a little bit of money yesterday, and he wouldn't buy me one for Christmas. I begged him. He would not buy me a 360 for Christmas. I don't know why. He calls me friend, but won't buy me a camera. I don't know. Jarvis Biker, good morning. I seen you popped in there. Once I got home, going back to look at a V Storm 650, so I can ride on the back roads in December on the bad roads. Don't want to hurt my pretty road glide. You know, you're funny by saying that because I told you guys I'm looking at the V Storm also. As soon as it gets nice and I go out and maybe test ride one, I might be letting the Himalayan go and shooting for the V Storm 650. I think it's got enough power into it. It's got enough of what I'm looking for because I also want to use it for, the Himalayan is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a good bike. Sometimes, though, it just doesn't have the guts that I want. And I know when I bought it, a lot of people told me that. And I was like, you're full of crap. And I know I did a stage 1.5 on it, and it helped, right? It'll maintain 70 miles an hour on the highways. But I just think the V Storm 650 has more of an engine on it, more power than I'm looking for. And I'm going to change the tires. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm going to put knobby tires on it when I get it. If I get it. So I want to test ride it first to see what it's all about. So Ricky KM said, "I lost all my vinyl many years ago. I only have a few left." Paul said regular gas is 277. Here's the question for you mechanics out there. And somebody at work told me I can use this. We have something here, some kind of fuel they're calling flex fuel. They said I can run it in my car because it's 2000. What did I see there? 2009 or newer cars can run flex fuel, but that's going for $1.98 a gallon. And I've been scared. It's 88% octane, but I've been scared to put it in my tank. Like Miss HR said, all we need is my car, which is paid off. It's a 2016 CRV to crumble and crash, and I blow the engine up because of some saving, a buck a gallon. I don't know. Is it worth it? Will it work? I'd like to get your opinions on that. My fine mechanics on the channel. Question and everyone. I got home yesterday evening, and this morning my email is bombarded with Black Friday emails. Ugh, 100. Yeah, I cleared a ton of them out yesterday too. On the Wagon Hog, good morning to you. Yeah, I got flooded also with emails yesterday from stuff, and it was absolutely, positively sickening. Anyway, but Steve Martin and the Steep Canyon Rangers, great bluegrass band. Okay, the real Jackie Boy. You can run the E15 in most newer vehicles, but the E85 is for flex fuel vehicles only. Okay, so what is E15? Real Jackie Boy. Maybe you can text that to me, or maybe we can chat on the phone later. You can tell me. If I could run, I know there's two. There's one there that says flex fuel only. I think it was a green handle, and there was a yellow handle that said it was for like my year of car. A guy at work, one of the other teachers, said that he uses all the time and his car runs fine. But I can't find anything on a Honda CRV about using the flexible fuel or whatever it's called. I don't know. It's 88% octane. I think the other one says it's 87, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm really confused. Okay, so isn't flex fuel regular gas with 15% ethanol? The real Jackie Boy said. So I could run the 15% ethanol? Is that what you're saying? E85 can be up to 85% ethanol. Okay, so I can run the one at 15% ethanol? Is that correct? Yeah, I did say the other one was 85% ethanol. That's just crazy. It's all ethanol. Is that gas or is that an additive? I don't even know what that is. I know. Look it up, HDR. You got a computer. Your local farmer here saying ethanol helps us out since it's made from corn. Ah, ooh, good old corn rye whiskey. Not like some good old corn whiskey. You know what though? A Ron deer. It's kind of funny just because you say it's used. Corn is used in a product. Corn is in everything. I was amazed to find out what corn is in. Corn is in everything, right? They put little corn in anything, everything. It's funny because we don't digest corn, but there's corn in everything. I like corn in my whiskey. I mean, I like cornbread whiskey. It's good stuff. So, but yeah, if somebody can explain that to me, I would love to. I would love to try that stuff, that cheaper fuel. But I'm just really scared about blowing my engine. And I know you can't run it in the motorcycles because we have to run high test in the motorcycles. Um, Maybe in the Himalayan. I don't know. It definitely said it was not for boats. It said do not use it in boats and do not use it in airplanes. Toby North said it's funny, real sad. We are saw 10% and 15% off on Black Friday specials with numerous motorcycle accessory brands, but same discounts they offered during the year through YouTubers. Um, Makes good moonshine too. Yes, corn makes great moonshine. And Toby, you're right. Every product that I've ever placed on my bike that I've done a product placement for my YouTube channel, everyone when I talk to them, even lately with the seat covers, right? They're like, "We'll give all your viewers 10% off." They give 10% off all the time, or I think at that time it was like 35% off. I'm like, but if I have a product and I'm pushing it out to you guys, the viewers, or you guys are pushing something to me, make it worth our while, right? Make it 50% off, right? Or something more than what the standard is. So Toby, you make a very good point. My 250 Ford my 215 Ford F-150 is flexible. It's cheaper, but the mileage is crap. Oh, that's something to think about. So I guess you would burn it faster. And I've learned that if I put high test in my car, like premium gas, I get way better mileage out of that premium gas than you do even regular gas. So I guess the cheaper the grade, the less mileage, right? That makes sense. So I appreciate all the efforts out there from everybody. So I don't know, but talking about, I discussed a lot today, obviously, about Black Friday shopping. And a lot of the Harley dealers had a lot of Black Friday deals, and most of it was on clothing. There was none of it on the motorcycles themselves. I didn't see anything on the motors. I think Jim said on Black Friday, if I would have bought the crate motor, he's trying to sell me I think it's a, I don't know what it is. Oh, 1300 crate motor or something, or 1500 crate motor. I don't know. The Harley shop where he works would have installed it for free. They would put everything in, tore my motor out, put the new motor in, and I probably could have got some of my money back by selling my motor. I bet you. So I probably could have got maybe half of back what I was paying for it. But I'm just not that guy, right? I'm just not that guy. I just use regular gas in my 220 Ford Explorer, no issues, fairly good mileage, type Tennessee. I put the junk gas in my truck and the premium gas fuel in my bike. Real Jack said I lost 2 miles per gallon running E85 in my 2008 GMC. But when am I paying $1 less a gallon, it is worth it. I say $25 per fill. That's huge savings. Premium on my Harley, regular on my Goldwing. Uh, with 87% octane, my truck is getting right around 25 or 21 miles per gallon. Great ideas there, great concepts from you guys, and great understanding now of what I'm looking at. So maybe I'm going to do a little bit more investigating to see if I can use it in my CRV, my 2016 CRV. I'll look through some chat groups or news groups or whatever the heck we do, forums they're called. We'll look at some forums and see what people are doing out there. I definitely would never, and Ty's right. My Harley gets premium. The Himalayan runs on regular. I put premium in the Himalayan, guys. It ran like crap. It was like, I'm like, what? Better gas. The Himalayan despises it. Remember, the Himalayan was built and sold in India. And in India, you watch Itchy Boots in India, their gas stations and their gas is garbage, right? There's probably mud in their gas tanks. So yeah, the Himalayan runs a lot better on regular gas. So much better. Good morning, Bodine52. Sorry you're late. Where you been, buddy? I tell you, probably out shooting another deer this morning. Roy Gregory Rides. Good morning. Glad to have you on board there. Yeah, see, Bodine was looking for another big buck there this morning. Anyway, so yeah, the Harley dealers were just selling their clothing a little cheaper, maybe their jewelry, maybe some sunglasses. I don't know. I didn't go to any. Oh, getting back to one thing I want to talk to you about before I go this morning is I'll use this last few minutes. Chuck Henson says, I use 10% ethanol in my vehicles, especially in the winter. The ethanol displaces moisture so you don't have to worry about the gas lines freezing up. Good point, Chuck. Thank you very much for that thought. Anyway, it just dawned on me what Be the Rider P was selling me. He was selling me a 131 crate engine. I am not that guy that needs a bigger motor. You guys know I run a 107. It's stock. I was thinking about getting a stage 1 on it just to get rid of the catalytic converter. Is the only reason I wanted to do that, not for more power. But I think it's fast enough, right? It is fast enough. I can pass vehicles, I can pass trucks. And I know people are arguing, well, you get that little more throttle response. When you crack it, you can pass a truck even faster. If I pass the truck at 80, I pass the truck at 80, right? I don't need to go any faster. My bike will climb hills fine, and it's okay if you are. No, I'm not bashing anybody. If you do like that extra power, if you do want that extra speed, and you do want that extra excitement, that's fine. Um, I'm just not the excited guy. My Harley's for comfort. I just ride it. I'd rather put all that money into comfort. You guys know I still want to put new front shocks on my bike. I still want to put a new stereo, and they raised the damn stereo. Thank you, SoundStream, for raising your prices along with every other stupid company in America. They were $800. Now they're $999. Just make it $1,000, right? Why are you trying to make me feel good? Like, well, it's only $999. So SoundStream, you might be X'd, man. If you want to sponsor the channel, by all means, send me one. I'll do an install, and you can send me a brand new SoundStream system, and I will put it on my bike and do an install video for you. Other than that, I don't know if I'm going to spend $1,000 for a radio. I just don't know if it's worth it. You can't get rid of the cats until your warranty is up. It will avoid it. Yeah, I think my warranty is another, what is my bike, 5 years? 2 more years on the warranty. And so I bought 7 years, so total. And and I made sure of it. I know people always yell at me, but no. You get 2 years when you buy it. You buy 5. That's how you got 7. No, I bought 7 years extended on top of the 2. So, but anyway, well, with the first, whatever. But it was a total of 7 years is how I worked it out. And paid about 30, about 17, $1,800 for the extended warranty. So, I don't know. Um, let's see here. When it comes to fuel, I just use what the owner's manual recommends. Eliminates pay on a wing and a hog. That's a good way to look at it, for sure. On a wing and a hog, you're right. I mean, that's what I'm going to do today. Toby Northern says I like them, but the 124, the 131, and 135, and the larger bike engines are useless unless you're reaching and doing a show bike. Most can't handle the speed and torque with these engines on the street anyway. Oops, I mean, I ride, not drag race. Oh, Roy Greger, I said I ride, but not drag race. I was telling my kids the other day, we were talking about computers and building computers because that's what I teach, right? Computer systems. And I was trying to get them to understand their young minds. It's not about how big you're building something or how expanded it is. It's about building what you need, right? And I think that's what motorcycling needs to come down to. It needs to be your need, not the bragging rights, right? We don't want to brag about stuff. And I was teaching them about bragging. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, face it, look at it this way. You got an Xbox 360 because all the kids understand Xbox. And your friends has a 1 terabyte hard drive. So you expanded yours. You put a 14 trillion terabyte hard drive in. And the one smart kid says, there's no 14 trillion mega terabyte hard drive. I'm like, shut up, kid. Knock it off. Anyway, and you're only using 800 megabytes of that hard drive. All you did it for was to brag about it, right? You don't need it, okay? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I don't want to buy the 131. That's what I'm getting at. 131 is a big engine, right? And I'm going to use more fuel. I'm going to have more heat displacement. And it's just not something I want to do. So size doesn't matter. Yes, Bodine, you're right. Size does not matter. And every female, everybody will tell you that size does not matter. Okay. Um, there's a size immune joke in there. Yeah, could be. Totally agree with Toby. Yeah. So and Toby's right too. I mean, you know, people do get in trouble with that. And there's a guy at our local shop right now. He bought a brand new Road Glide. Okay, brand new Road Glide, regular Road Glide. Is it Road Glide special? That's what it was. He took it to the shop. They immediately are doing a stage 4 upgrade on it. He rode it from the Harley dealer to the shop, dropped it off, and now they're doing a stage 4 upgrade, completely rebuilding the entire engine with S&S parts. S&S? Yes, S&S parts. And I asked the guy about the warranty. He said, I don't give a crap about the warranty. He said, I'm building my motorcycle. He said, this is what I want to have. And he said, we have our independent mechanic rater. He said, I'll pay whatever it costs to get this thing fixed. So he's not worried about warranties and money. Warranties are great, guys, until you need it. And then you have to fight Harley to prove that something happened to their merchandise that they need to fix. And you have to get through those loops, And sometimes I wonder, is the warranty worth it? And I'm thinking, and I was talking about extending mine, so I don't know if I told you guys that or not. And when Be the Rider PA called me and told me it was going to be $3,000 for 5 years, I told Miss HDR she fell over. I had to give her CPR, mouth to mouth, and had to shock her 3 times with a battery to get her heart started again. So I don't think I'll be buying extended warranty. Why can't they sell me 5 years for the same price I bought? I know when it was new. You know why? Because they figure probably nothing will happen to it. It's new, but it is a Harley, so chances are it's going to break. I'm just saying. Um, Painswright said a brand new one. A brand new, I don't know what he said, a brand new one. What? Have my grandson thought I would say hi. Motor Rambling, thanks. Good morning to you. Jarvis Biker said, don't need more power than a 114. That's why I got rid of my concerns. 14 concourse. I saw my driver's license flying away if I got caught too fast. Yeah, 114 is plenty of power. Not to mention, upgrading a bike engine to a larger size means more frequent gas stops. That makes long distance traveling even more expensive. You're right. And it also is more heat distribution. My Indian 111 has all the power and torque I need and over 100. My wife's 116 is crazy. Chuck Henson says, on a wing and halt, I did a stage 1 and 2 on my old 2002 Electric Glide with the TC88. That engine needs it for highway cruising. Best upgrades I did, but needs nothing more. $3,000, buy a Hemi. There you go. There you go. $3,000 for extended warranty. Hey, the Himalayan. How about the Himalayan I bought? Came with a free 3-year warranty. 3 years, free. Covers everything, everything. Well, outside of scratching it maybe or something stupid, but something. If you hear a dingle dingle in the engine, take it in. They repair it for free, right? There's not even a copay, not even a $50 copay on it. So the more you build, lower the reliability. Ask Mike Killy 7 if you guys ever watched him. Go back on his old videos. He had a Harley Davidson. He had a stage 4 put in it, and all it did the rest of the time he had it was spew oil, give him all kind. It was in the shop more than he ever had it under his butt. What did he do the last time he took it to the shop? He drove it over to the Honda dealer and he bought a Honda Goldwing. And he seems pretty happy now. I never hear him complaining about the Goldwing. So, Payne's Rods just bought one. He said, best motorcycle he's ever ridden. And Payne's Rods has owned every model of motorcycle on the planet. And some that aren't even here anymore, such as Victory, right? Not around anymore. He sold the Victory. That's why I started watching the man, because of his Victory. So, but it gave him trouble one day. It's like, bye, bike, I got to buy a new one. Guys, we need reliability, especially when you tour. And many of us take trips because we do it together, and I know we do. And we're traveling many, many, many miles. You can't have an unreliable bike or an unreliable engine. Best practice is leave your motor alone. Change your oil at every 5,000 miles. And I do, even though I use full synthetic, and everybody says, it's good for 10. I change it every 5 because I love my engine. And for the cost, for the price it's going to cost you $100 to do it yourself, just do it. And just take care of the motor, So, just saying, that's a good thing to do. Pretty happy with my Goldwing Motor Rambling. Yeah, Motor Rambling has a Goldwing, and he absolutely loves it. I bought a Star Venture and had it for 5 years on the bike when I bought it. Yep, there you go. Star Venture. Be the rider PA had. Steve Streetglide said, I had a 2018 Streetglide that had a torque cam installed. Didn't need it, but wanted to upgrade my oil pump due to the sumping issues. So put the cam in anyway since they were in there. And that's a good thing. If you're going to do something like that, guys, if you're going to do a stage 2, do the stage 3. If you're going to do a stage 1, well, not really a stage 1. What I'm saying is if they're going to open the motor up, do whatever you want to do when they have the motor open, because if not, you got to pay all that labor again and again and again and again. So if they have it opened up, let them do it right then, and don't let them worry about that at all. I think that's the best policy, guys. And Steve Streetglide, you made the right decision, buddy. That absolutely is right. Mike had the slumping issue. Sad for Mike. Harley didn't have a good fix for it at the time. Yeah, I would, knock on wood, the slumping issue was really bad in the 2017s, right? Mine's a 2018. By the time the 2018s rolled around, they got it figured out, and they got that slumping problem taken care of. So, I was told when I bought mine that it had the upgraded high flow oil pump in it. So that's a good thing. And so far, I haven't had any trouble, and so pretty happy about that. But if I did, I would probably get an S&S oil pump put in it by my local guy, because that's what parts he uses, all S&S. And I think is it S&S? I think I'm saying that right. But that's the parts that he uses on all the motorcycles he works on. So Mike Bodine is leaving us this morning here. Oh, it is 9 o'clock. I guess it is time. Usually Mike's the first one to say, "Hey Jack, shut up! You talk too much." Thanks, Mike. You're a real pal. I remember next time I see you. No, guys, seriously, I do got to get out of here, man. I got a ton of stuff I'm doing, and Wayne got to get exposed in the YouTube world on others' videos. Um, and I hope all you do. And I asked you guys if you want, any exposure from my little show here on this corner of the web. By all means, do an intro and send it over to me. And catch me on Instagram. I'll tell you where to email that to. I will be happy to use that. And yeah, have a great Thanksgiving weekend. And I'll be talking to you guys next week. And I got some very interesting news coming up next week that will definitely enlighten some of you. So I hope you all come back next week because it's going to be a very important message, to say the least, I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, so take care, everybody, and I will talk to you next week. Until then, ride your own ride. You be safe out there. Enjoy the Cyber Monday deals that are coming out Monday morning. Ha! That's another big joke. There ain't no deals. You ain't saving anything. They're going to take your money. It's just the way life is. I will talk to you next week. Until then, remember, ride your ride. Be safe out there, huh? Harley Day Ride, your girlfriend, HDR, will be down and out in the beautiful, luxurious HDR studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye for now.